the K-pop world was again made in uproar by the visual figure and vocalist from Jin. This time, not only because of her stunning appearance in front of the camera, but precisely because of her different attitude while behind the scenes of the Hooligan MV creation process. BTS fans, known as ARMY, were immediately intrigued and wondered, what exactly happened to Jin? Since the beginning of the release of the teaser MV, Hooligan, many have noticed a different aura from Jin. Usually known as a cheerful figure, full of jokes and often melts the atmosphere, this time the genie actually looks calmer, focused, and even tends to be mysterious. This is even more evident when behind-the-scenes footage begins to circulate on various platforms. In some parts of the video, Jin looks more silent than usual. He seemed to delve into every scene seriously, even several times seen talking to himself, as if he was living the character he played. For some, this is a form of professionalism. But for the ARMY, which has been following Jin's journey for a long time, this change feels quite significant. Many fans then began to speculate. Some argue that the concept of the MV, Hooligan, does require Jin to get out of his comfort zone. The darker, emotional, and conflicted themes make Jin have to show a side that he rarely shows before. If usually he is synonymous with the image of a playful, worldwide handsome, now the genie actually comes with a deeper and more complex expression. Not a few also believe that Jin is showing great development as an artist. Over the years with BTS, Jin is known for constantly trying to improve his acting and expression skills. The MV Hooligan seems to be a stage for Jin to prove that he is capable of more than just visuals. He is a true performer. However, behind all that, there are small moments that make fans even more moved. In one of the footage, Jin can be seen sitting alone in a corner of the set, closing his eyes while listening to music through earphones. Many suspect that he is trying to get deeper into the emotions of the song. When the camera approached, Jin only smiled slightly, a different smile than usual, more calm and full of meaning. Jin's interaction with the staff is also in the spotlight. Although he seems more serious, he still shows a polite and warm attitude. Some of the staff were even seen smiling while talking to him, signifying that although Jin changed in front of the camera, his true personality still did not disappear. This proves that the change is most likely part of his totality in work. Interestingly, some fans also found small details that reinforce the theory that the genie really got into the character. For example, the way he walks is more assertive, a sharper eye gaze, to body gestures that are different from usual. All this suggests that Jin does not just act, but really brings to life the roles he lives. It doesn't stop there. The discussion on social media is getting more and more crowded. Many ARMY compared Jin in the MV Hooligan with his appearance in previous works. The striking difference makes many people feel both proud and surprised. They see a new side of Jin that may not have been fully explored. Some commenters even said that this is a new era for Jin, a phase in which he began to show a stronger maturity and emotional depth as an artist. This is certainly good news for his future career, both as a member of BTS and as an individual. On the other hand, there are also fans who feel a little worried. They wondered if this change reflected Jin's personal condition. However, most agree that this is part of the creative process, not something to worry about excessively. Instead, many appreciated Jin's courage to try new things and get out of his comfort zone. If you look deeper, MV Hooligan does offer a different concept than most of his previous works. Darker shades, emotional storylines, and strong visuals demand each member to give their best performance. In this context, the change of genie is precisely one of the main forces that makes this MV feel more alive and memorable. The most interesting thing is how Jin manages to balance two sides of himself, as an entertainer who is loved by many, and as a serious artist in his work. Behind the scenes, he may look different, but therein lies the beauty. The genie is developing, experimenting, and showing that he is not afraid to change. In the end, the surprise that Jin gave in the MV, Hooligan, was not something negative. On the contrary, it is a clear proof of the dedication and passion he has towards the world of music and art. He not only wants to look good, but also wants to give something meaningful to his fans. For ARMY, this moment was a reminder that an artist's journey is not always static. There are phases in which they change, grow, and discover new sides of themselves. And the genie, with all its uniqueness, managed to show that such changes can be something beautiful. So, what exactly happened? The answer may be simple. The genie is developing. He is exploring his potential, challenging his limits, and giving his best in every work he produces. And if Hooligan is the beginning of this new phase, then the fans are certainly worth looking forward to what he will show next. One thing is for sure, Jin has managed to steal the world's attention once again, not just with his handsome face, but with the depth of his emotions that are now shining even more. Jin's success in attracting public attention through the MV, Hooligan, cannot be separated from the small details that slowly begin to be revealed to the surface. The more behind-the-scenes footage that circulated, the more it became clear that there was an incredible effort that he devoted to this project. In fact, some observant fans are starting to notice that Jin's attitude changes not only happen when the camera is on, but also in between breaks. In a moment that was quite viral among the army, Jin was seen having a serious discussion with the director. He seemed to repeat the scene many times, paying attention to every movement, expression, to the right timing to match the emotions he wanted to convey. This is quite surprising, considering that Jin has often shown his relaxed side behind the scenes. But this time, he really appeared like a professional actor who did not want to leave the slightest gap. This change also gave rise to a lot of analysis from international fans. In various forums, many mention that Jin is entering the method acting phase, where he tries to directly feel the emotions of the characters he plays. If this is so, then it is not surprising that his attitude becomes more reserved and focused, because he is maintaining the consistency of these emotions throughout the filming process. Not only that, there is also a theory that the song Hooligan itself has a fairly deep and personal meaning. Some of the lyrics allegedly depict inner conflict, rebellion, and the search for self-identity, leading many to believe that Jin are actually connected to the story. If before he often conveyed emotions through strong vocals, now he adds them with a much more mature visual expression. Interestingly, the interaction between Jin and the other members of BTS is also a topic of discussion. In some clips, other members can be seen trying to cheer Jin up in between filming. They threw a small joke, but Jin only responded with a light smile before returning to focus. For longtime fans, this is quite a rare sight, because usually the genie is the first to bring the atmosphere to life. However, behind the seriousness, there is another side that still shows the warmth of Jin. In one moment, he is seen helping a staff member who has difficulty carrying equipment. Without hesitation, Jin immediately intervened and even joked briefly afterwards. This proves that even though he is in character, he has not forgotten who he really is. Along with the increased attention to the Hooligan MV, many media outlets began to put a special spotlight on Jin's performance. Some even say that this is one of the most significant transformations in his career. He is no longer only known as a visual or mood maker, but also as an artist who has strong emotional depth and promising acting skills. Many industry observers also see this as a strategic move. By showing a more serious and complex side, Jin opens up wider opportunities for his future career. Not a few began to speculate that he could have plunged deeper into the world of acting, both in drama and film. If you see his performance in Hooligan, it is certainly not something that is impossible. The ARMY's reaction was increasingly mixed. There are those who feel proud to see the development of Jin. There are also those who claim to be moved because they can watch his transformation journey up close. Many wrote that they felt like they had grown with Jin, seeing how he continued to evolve over time.